Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in to KT Garage. I had this Fox Body Mustang for a little bit over a year and I've been doing work off and on it. So I went ahead and paint the car before I do anything else. I wasn't gonna drive it anyway. So now I'm start driving it. There's a couple things that I need to share with you guys when you start driving an older car that you buy from someone. First, change the oil. We all know that. But the next thing you need to do is check the rear end fluid. It's very important that you check the rear end fluid to make sure it is clean and this doesn't need to be replaced. Now, my thing is I'm going to replace anyway because I don't know how long the fluid's been in there and it degrades over time. So I'm going to go ahead and change it. I'll go through the steps so you guys know how to do it, and then you can do it for yourself and save yourself several hundred dollars. You bring this to the shop and have them do it. Now while I'm at it, I'm going to replace a cover into a piece of aluminum cover. Looks awesome, and it cost me only $60 something off from Amazon. I'll have a link to that on the description so you know where to get them in case you want to do that for your car. So as you can see down here, this is a 1990 Mustang, so it's been a number of years. I believe it's been sitting for a number of years, and now I'm starting to restore it. So you can see that the cover is completely rusted. It got bee nest over here, beehives. Now this looking pretty good as far as everything else. You can see the metal hasn't been rusted too bad, so it's in great shape. You look forward. But this needs to be taken care of. So I'm gonna go ahead and start removing this cover. I'm gonna change the oil anyway. The fluid's in there, I don't care what condition it's at. And then replace the cover, put some new fluids on before I start driving it too far. Alright, so the rear end is supposed to look like this. And what you want to do is just go in with a flashlight and start to inspect everything, make sure your gears looks good, everything looks good. Now I was really happy that I see the fluid coming out is completely clean. It looked just like that when it first came out. So which means that they whoever owned this before took care of it, and they probably replaced it recently. So I inspected the gears, everything looks good. So, and I cleaned it, the surface really well. Just use a scraper, make sure you scrape all the old gasket off. Then I'm gonna go put that new cover on. Okay, so here's the cover I bought from Amazon. I actually got it for $59, not too bad at all, and it comes with all the mounting hardware and a gasket. It has a drain plug, which is really great. The steel piece that I have on there doesn't have any of these, and it has the fill plug on top, so you don't have to go and mess with the inside of the differential. So it's all here for you to work with. There's two pieces out here, and it's got one of these that look like the C-clamp, the end of the C-clamp where it's allowed to rotate freely. So there's two of these, and I think what it does is there's a bearing cap that's sitting inside the gearbox, and the bearing cap is like that U-shaped piece that you bolt on each side to hold the gears in place. So you're gonna back this out first, get all this bolt torqued up, and then you can come in and start coming in and load up that bearing cap with this, and then you tighten this. So it just to ensure that that cap doesn't come out. Anyway, that's what I thought how it works. Now you guys have another reason for these two, let me know. make sure you use a torque wrench for this. They're calling for 20 to 25 foot-pounds of torque. Make sure you torque them up in sequence. Just don't try to torque them all at once. You just kind of crisscross them, make sure that everything loads at the right amount of clamping force, and then you torque it up to spec. Okay, just don't forget to back this all the way out as you torque the rest of this bolt. And then when you're done, torque this up. I think I torqued it up to like 15 foot-pounds, something like that. And then use a wrench to turn the nut and lock it in. Do this for this too. Just make sure you back this all the way out before you start torquing this, because you don't want to be torquing these while this is loading up on the inside cap. So now I'm just getting ready to get the new oil in, and this will take the 75 W90 for the Mustang Fox Body 8.8 gear or rear end. So I'm gonna see if I can just get this done without using a funnel. A little bit difficult because I don't want to spill everywhere. Well, I gotta rig up something because I can't really get it done without spilling it. Well guys, let's try this again. I just found this scrap piece of tubing on my drawer. This is a, I think it's a 3/8 inch ID piece of hose. And then it goes right into this nozzle. So I think at this point, I can go ahead and try to get it in. Oh. Well, it came out. Okay, let's try this again. This time I'm gonna make sure nothing comes off. Oh. All right. There we go. It seemed to be working. Just kind of just squeeze it. Well guys, everything is done for $59. Your Mustang looks so much better from back here, and you get your differential oil change. Can't beat that price. Now I just spent about an hour or so getting all this done, but glad I did it. Well guys, I actually didn't sweat this much. This is actually oil that spilled on me. Not a big deal, but I do smell like gear oil. Anyway, I'm glad that's done. Now I'm gonna, while the car is up in the air, I'm gonna go and spray a coat of paint on the rear end axle, make it look a little nicer. Maybe on, you know, the rest of the spots where it looks a little, you know, faded through the years. So I'll go and do that while it's up in the air. I appreciate you guys tuning in to KT Garage. Be on the lookout for other tips on how to restore your Fox Body Mustang. Thank you.